Welcome everyone to the Nerd Nook. I'm your host Evan Teague, and with me, like always, is my incredible co-host Noah Bailey.
See what you did there. Like it.
The reason he was saying that is because this week we are finally doing our Incredibles 2 review. So,
Hmm.
just to put this in context, the first Incredibles movie was at the top of both of our top Pixar lists. So, needless to say, we were pretty excited for this movie. So, without going into spoilers right away, just generally, what did you think about this?
I like this movie. It does a good job of just kind of staying in its lane, so to speak. It understands it's not trying to outdo the first one because
Mm,
that's a tall order by itself.
yeah.
It's like let's be a sequel, let's add to the story, let's just build off what we already have. Just like what a sequel is supposed to do. They did a great job. It's good. I like the character development. I like kind of the role reversal that goes into it. I do like how they're exploring him more, explaining that more. It's and they add some new characters. They're not the most memorable,
Mm,
but they're good additions. So I think
yeah.
it's a good movie. It's a great movie.
Yeah, I agree with pretty much all of that. Like, going in, I was literally expecting just to have a good time watching a Pixar movie. I was not
Hmm.
expecting it to be better than the first one because that movie is literally almost perfect. Like, I can't find many flaws with the first one. And it just is the best Pixar movie. Like, people can argue other movies being better, and like I can entertain those arguments, but like really, I just feel the first Incredibles movie just hits every single point perfectly.
Yeah.
And this movie just literally could not be that good. And really, it wasn't trying to be that good. So, like, it did what it needed to do, and it did it good enough for me to like it. The
Mhm.
only thing that, like, I guess the main thing I wasn't the biggest fan of was all of the Jack Jack stuff. Like, I was
Yeah.
okay. Like, one of my favorite scenes from the original Incredibles was when uh, when Syndrome was taking him, flying away with Jack Jack, and he
Hmm.
suddenly had powers. Like, he just had like a bunch of powers all at once, and that was kind of funny and interesting at the same time. When you focus an entire movie on that, and it was never really established where his powers come from. It was never really established exactly like how many powers he had. Like, he just kind of started just every opportunity, his powers just kind of became a Deus Ex Machina of, oh, we
Hmm.
need to get out of this vent. He grew huge so they could get out of the vent,
Yeah.
or this stuff like that. And one trope that me and my brother both kind of don't really like is a character who is special just for the sake of being special. Like, Edna Mode said that it's common for babies to have a bunch of powers when they're little and then grow into specializing in one or two. And she just kind of said, but for some reason, Jack Jack is special. I kind of wish they had explained why he's special, like what about him specifically makes him have so many powers. But like most of the stuff they did have was really cute, so like it kind of made up for it. But just outside of that, I don't really have any like major complaints with this movie.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the Jack Jet stuff, I kind of like it. It was a bit much to me because I think they said officially was like 17 powers or
Mm-hmm.
something like that, which is like ridiculous. To the point
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, like come on, guys. But yeah, it was kind of just a little overboard. Like I get it. Like his power was basically I can do anything,
Mm-hmm.
which is awesome. But at the same time, I was like, all right, but you didn't need to literally do every specific little power and everything. But yeah,
Yeah.
but it's the baby, so it kind of works out. It kind of just goes to the old like oh, you think the most harmless looking one is actually the most
Mm.
like powerful, most terrifying,
Yeah.
right? Which I mean, it works for me.
I
The
guess I would
thing,
be. I guess I would be a little more. I don't know. Forgiving is the right word, but like I would go a little easier on Jack Jack as a whole if he didn't have the duplication power. Everything else seemed just wacky enough, seemed just kind of in character enough. Because initially it was shape shifting, and then Jack Jack
right?
attacks. He got the laser vision and the fire, or maybe he had fire originally, and teleportation, phase through walls and stuff like that. Like everything, it was quirky, it was funny in that short, so I liked it. But the duplication power, it just kind of, I don't know, it didn't really seem to fit with the rest of his arsenal, and it just, I don't know, that one in particular just kind of bugged me a little more than the others. But still, like the scene it was first showcased in, like was against that raccoon, so it was kind of funny and cute. So like I'll give it a pass. But like yeah, basically.
Yeah. And I mean, because like I was never a big fan. Like when he did like the giant grow power, that was the one I was kind of like, okay, like come on now. Like he's already like he can already go through walls. You really have to be big enough to just walk through them too. Like you don't need all that.
Yeah,
but...
and I feel turning into the metal baby, he could have just turned the metal baby and just fall through. Because he never actually used that power within this movie.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
Like it kind of felt like many times they gave him new powers in place of ones he already had that just weren't in it.
Yeah, it's kind of like doubles up. But I mean, again, it's just fine. I mean, his power pretty much is every power. That's pretty much his ability. So it's like not too bad.
Yeah. And the movie wasn't only about Jack. Like
no, which is good.
Yeah, and I loved pretty much everything that Elastigirl did.
Yes.
Just the scene when she was chasing after that train, like being very creative with her power, like stretching the car out or the motorcycle out and like jumping and like smashing through walls and like doing like super precision, like fall right on a little ledge and like wheelie over it, like just there were so many. Just that in that one sequence in particular, there were so many unique ways that like showed she's been doing this for a while and she's good at it.
Right, and like it's great because like one of the powers that I never thought I would want is like the whole like Elastigirl, Mr. Fantastic stretching power because but in this movie I saw a lot of uses for it that I never would have thought of because especially with the Elasticycle or something like that. The way that it came apart was, in my mind, genius.
Yes.
Because it's like, it was just so, because you can get to higher, like, reach out farther, and then get one wheel to reach, and then the other go. Like, that was so creative. I thought that, I was like,
it works so well with her power.
Right. It's meant just for her. That was like, I mean, that whole, like, I was really mad when it blew up. I was actually really disappointed. I was like, oh, dude. I was like, dang it, man. Like, because that was like, I mean, that whole scene. I was like, this is awesome. Like she's a boss. And like, I also like with the train scene, she kind of like, I don't want to say like directly learns, but like, okay, you know how in the beginning of the first movie, Mr. Incredible just kind of catches the train and kind of just everyone on the train gets messed up and everything, like broken arms and stuff. At this time, she's kind of like, okay, let's not hurt the people. So she kind of uses her power, kind of parachutes to slow it down. And then she goes in, checks on the people. Hey, you okay? You good? Before finishing the job, which is something, it's like almost progression in the movie, kind of how supers operate with people.
Yeah, like it really showed the fact that Mr. Incredible, though he was a good super, he could be a bit reckless. He caused a lot of damage when he didn't necessarily mean to. Like he was doing the right thing, but he still caused some damage when.
And they even talked about that in like the meeting thing, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah, and like I really understood where Bob was coming from. Like he was at an insurance firm for probably like 15 years, doing nothing with his life for all that long, all the time, just wanting to get back into being a superhero. He finally gets his chance against the Omni Droid, and then the next step is supporting his wife as she goes. Like, I do really like him as the dad. Like, just seeing this guy who used to be a superhero, and like that was like all his life for pretty much all his entire life. Now having to deal with kids, just try to relate to these kids, but just there were so many points where I laughed a lot, especially at all the stuff he tried to how he tried to deal with Violet, with Tony, like that. I like most of those scenes.
That diner scene.
It was
with
so
the
awkward, but like it worked. Like that's totally something a dad would try to do in that situation.
Oh yeah, and like and just like I think the moment when the water goes through Violet's nose, I think I cracked up. I could do because you've seen that happen before. You're like, oh my god, she's about to lose it. And just like and like that is the reaction with that, and like. Admittedly, at the beginning, I didn't like how they kind of just like Men in Black them with the whole erase everything. Because according to, like, I think they erased his entire memory of her instead of just like the last this or that, which I didn't like that initially. But I guess as the movie went on, I just kind of dealt with it kind of like Violet did. But it was just kind of like, I don't know, but I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
I guess it could be a thing where like he didn't know who she was before then,
right?
So now that like when she changed her here, he finally saw her or whatever. So erasing everything from that day,
maybe that's what
made him forget her. So it was fine. Speaking of the very beginning. I actually really like the fact that the Underminer got away. I feel like that just kind of showed that yes, the supers are like the Incredibles are good at what they do, but they're not really perfect. Bob is still kind of destructive at times. They still put I'll concentrate that for a second. Sorry. Like this, just the idea that like this big villain who just kind of came out of nowhere at the end of the first one, and then they don't actually beat him at the beginning of the second one. Just that, I don't know, that just feels really clever to me. Like, this is theoretically, a lot of people thought, hey, this guy was going to be the villain of the sequel for that past 14 years, and then he was just the opening villain that was beaten, or that wasn't even, he was beaten but he got away, which like I don't know, I just really like that.
Yeah. I will say, I thought it was okay that he got away because, like you said, it is kind of a tendency breaker because you think, oh, and the Incredibles saved the day like immediately into the movie. My only thing is he never came back. That was my
like
thing.
He was kind of referenced during the end credits, but he never like actually came back. Like it would have been kind of funny if at the very end the Underminer came back for a second time, which would have been kind of cheesy and corny, I guess. But like thematically, it would have worked.
Yeah, I don't know. That was just because I was like thinking about it because the things like, oh, everyone's gonna forget about this, but I'm gonna be the one like, that's where it went, and I was like, it's coming, and then the movie, and then we're 2 hours in, I'm like, it's not coming, but it's fine.
And
speaking of go ahead.
Go on. No, what were we gonna say?
I was gonna move into a new thing, but you can go if you want something.
Well, we might, from the little bit of what I heard. We might be going on the same topic because, like, one thing that I kind of wish this movie had delved a little deeper in is the fact that Elastigirl only ever faced one villain. And, we're going to move into spoilers now-ish, by the way. I kind of wish she had encountered at least one other villain before Screen Slaver, like, really started taking effect. Like, I wish... Because the Screen Slaver, we'll get into spoilers now, essentially was the person who got her back into this. Right. And I feel if she had just faced one other adversary before fully taking on Screen Slaver, that would have helped them put her into a better light. That could have just had an excuse for another action sequence. But, like, it didn't necessarily need to happen, but... is something I kind of would have wanted to see more villains since there is this, worldwide bill of wanting to bring back supers. You would think, a bunch of villains seeing that who maybe we've been in hiding for a while are seeing that be like, oh, supers are coming back. Maybe we should come back too. Right.
Yeah, that would have been more because it was kind of like, all right, immediately come back. All right. Big, like, the bad guy right now. It's like maybe like for example, like maybe like the Underminer or something, kind of taking that down first or something, or just some, or maybe like I know like there's supers or whatever, but I don't I kind of miss the like going after like just the petty crooks and thugs because like
Yeah.
in the first movie when Mr. Incredible with the whole like I don't know was it a bank robbery or something with the
Mm.
thugs or whatever like I thought that was kind of cool just like I can help out with the small stuff too. I think that would have helped a
Yeah.
little more.
Yeah, there was no instance of her going out of her way to help just random civilians just
Mm-hmm.
on a day-to-day basis. She pretty much everything she did was she stopped that train. She went she chased after the screen slaver
Mm-hmm.
after who was trying to kill the prime minister, right? Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And then
For
probably my
important.
favorite sequence from the entire movie was the sequence where she was tracking down the screenslaver and like it was like you just hear the screenslaver talking about how like we're all just like glued to screens
Mm-hmm.
now, like we all just are mindless zombies basically to what's in front of us. Yet at the same time, this just gorgeous um this gorgeous sequence of Elastigirl just going across the entire city, just mesmerizing is the word I was looking for. Mesmerizing
Mm-hmm.
sequence of Elastigirl just going through the entire city looking for this guy. Like, well, I just felt like it paired so nicely with what he was saying, or I guess, well, yeah, it was he at that point. He was saying during that sequence, and like, I didn't even like really realize that's what he was talking about until like I kind of like snapped out of it for a second. Like, oh, he's, I was yeah, he's right.
Cool. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, while he's saying this, we're all staring at a screen. Like, it's so true, and it's like, but that was great because like how quickly she got through the city because I was
Again,
like,
very
wow.
creative uses of her powers.
Yeah, like I mean, like using her arms, like just like kind of like web swing, but also like parachuting and like slinging herself across places, and like it was really smart. And like, but also the fact like when she was like gonna launch herself, she like measured it out, kind of didn't just kind of go. She's done this many times. Like that was really cool.
Yeah.
Oh. Good movie. Good movie.
Now, overall, what did you think about the Screenslaver as a villain?
I like the concept. I do because especially in 2018, I mean, screens are everything. If you're not on your phone, you're on your computer or watching something on TV. The screens are everywhere. I don't like that. At least for me, it was obvious who the villain was. Like it was incredible.
It was incredibly obvious.
Like I was just like because I mean, for one thing, like it's obvious. Like okay, new characters introduced. One of them's the bad guy.
Yeah.
Like you kind of knew going in.
One of
and
the
like,
two.
Right, it's like, okay, so like, first of all, you got a 50-50 shot right off the bat. But I mean, you could tell it was going to be the one that she had the most in common with. And, oh yeah, we're such great friends. Also, I'm like, okay, now we know. It's just a matter of when. It was, and I mean, yeah, it was, like, the obviousness did kind of throw it off for me. Because I knew it, but I was just kind of like, all right, well, when's she going to make her move? That's kind of my thing.
Yeah. It was still an interesting story, like, leading up to it. Like, every step of the way, you knew what the outcome was going to be, but, like, it never took away from my personal experience.
Yeah, no, I was never, like, mad that I knew who it was. I was kind of like, all right, what's going to, like, because I was thinking she was going to figure it out before, and then, like, maybe there'd be a twist or something else, like,
No.
I don't know. But, like,
I mean, you never to be, I guess.
Yeah, I know, but, I mean, you never know. It's a new movie. Maybe they tried something else. But also, like, when she catches the screensaver the first time, like, I mean, it was kind of obvious. Like, okay, like, that's not, but.
Yeah, like, especially since she was introduced as an inventor, like,
right.
It would just make sense that she will be able to orchestrate all this. Although, one thing that, like, I felt was very clever about this movie was the fact that this sibling duo they had going on, one was the inventor, one was good at marketing stuff. And at the end of the movie, when all the supers are lined up, which I'll get into the other supers in a second, when they're all lined up giving that big speech about, the supers are back and we're going to, take over the world by force, the way they spoke, being controlled by the screenslaver, the way they spoke sounded very robotic, I guess.
Yeah.
Like very to the point, very like not super realistic, I guess. Whereas if and that was clearly written by her, which I can't think of either of their names right now. Maybe Edna? No, not Edna. That's crap. That's not
No.
even close.
I don't know their names. I don't remember their names either.
Maybe start with an E. I don't know. It's not important.
Yep.
If she actually had given her entire plan and tried to manipulate her brother more into helping her, it might have actually gone better because the bill was still signed even after the supers, said they're gonna take over the world. If her brother, who is the marketer, who like actually knows how to talk to people, knows what the people know, he knows what the people want. If he had written that speech for her, people might have actually been a little more scared of it. People might have actually believed it more. But because she's not really a people person, it just came off sounding weird and like very sketchy.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like obviously mind control sounding. People don't actually talk like that. Like,
Yeah.
okay, come on. But yeah, but I mean, I guess it was kind of just part of the whole like under their control, zombified kind of this motif, which is fine for me because it's like, yeah, that's how. I mean, when you're under someone's control, you're very this is monotone and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But I
They
mean,
still could have made the words themselves sound a little more believable.
yeah, that's true. That is true.
Convincing, I guess is a better word. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did you think of the new supers that were introduced?
Um, for the most part, I wasn't that impressed. I did like Void
Hmm.
she, because I mean, she seemed, I don't want to say relatable, but like that person,
Yeah.
and you're like, okay, yeah, I've met that person
Hmm.
before. But like some of the other ones, I wasn't really that impressed with.
Yeah. They
Like,
they most of them had cool powers. Just I don't know. They didn't really leave a mark. Which you're
yeah,
not really watching The Incredibles for the other superheroes. Watching it for The Incredibles. I just
right.
kind of wish, once once the whole family was together, fighting off these mind controlled supers, I kind of wish each individual's Incredible had done more. Like Bob, once he finally got his moment to shine, he really didn't do much. Like he kind of fought that the one big buff superhero
Mm.
was Cement, some something
Oh,
like that. Can't remember that one's name. But Bob didn't like he couldn't beat that super on his own. Like Elastigirl needed to help him out. I just kind of
Mhm.
wish he had at least beaten one by himself. I feel that would
Yeah,
have just given him his moment to shine again after being the dad for most of the movie.
right. Kind of had
That's
his
what you wanted
superhero.
the entire time. And I just feel they could have done a little more with the fight at the very end itself. But it wasn't the what we got wasn't bad. They're just
Right.
preferably I feel they could have done a little more with it.
Yeah, they could have fine-tuned some things there. I mean, like you said though, like the other heroes were not very memorable. Like I don't even remember. I don't remember any of the names. I remember some of the powers, not all the powers,
There's an
but like,
owl guy, a
yeah, some
old guy
owl
who can shoot
guys.
acid,
Yeah,
electric guy,
Spitfires.
a guy who can shrink stuff.
Yeah,
Is that it? I don't know.
I think they didn't. I think the powers themselves weren't the worst. I think they just didn't use them very well.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think Void used hers really well, especially with fighting. I thought that was like really smart.
Yeah.
But other than her, like the other ones just kind of just did their thing and like didn't
Yeah.
use any like practical applications to it or
Mm-hmm.
anything. But
Although I did really like that the sequence when Frozen showed up at the house and like
yes,
almost took them all on by himself.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I mean, these guys are obviously rookies compared to the veterans, so like theoretically they should be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was a good sequence because Frozone got his moment, which I was happy about. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, sweet, he's gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Incredible too, kind of a little bit in that sequence where he's like, "Go do this," and it like destroys.
Uh-huh. Just,
Oh man,
yeah.
that was good. but other than that, the main hero, the other heroes, they filled spots
They
that it
serve their
does make
purpose,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah, but they weren't memorable though. It's like I don't remember. I saw it like a week ago, and I still don't remember the names or anything. So,
Yeah,
but you don't need to remember their names.
yeah. But this movie overall, I feel if you watch these movies back to back, I mean, First Incredibles and Incredibles 2, I feel
Mhm.
clearly this movie is not as good. But again, like I said before, it wasn't trying to be as good.
Right.
And it still captures the spirit of the original just as good. Even though Pixar, you know, even though their movies have grown over the years, they've gotten human proportions right in Brave, which that wasn't a great movie, but still, they still went with the kind of exaggerated 60s, 70s comic book style, big chest, big arms, tiny legs, weird
Mhm.
heads. Like they kept that design throughout, and like I really like the fact that, like I said, even though Pixar as a company has developed throughout the years, they knew that they needed to get this movie looking as close to the original as looking and sounding as close to the original as possible, and they more or less did that to a T.
Yeah, it was a good job. Yeah, and it looks. And it looked really good. The animation is a step up because it's been 14 years,
Yeah,
obviously.
like
Improvements.
Elastigirl's hair, just I don't even understand the physics of that thing, but like it, just individual strands, just
Yeah,
oh, it looks so good.
that's what I say. Yeah, this movie was definitely a good movie for Elastigirl specifically. Like it was like it showed off her abilities in new ways. It was a good character building movie, definitely for her. And like I don't know, she was definitely my favorite character in the movie.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, let's go.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
I do.
as much as I would have maybe preferred this movie actually take place 14 years in the future from the first one. The
Really,
movie that we got, I feel, was good enough. It was just as good as it needed to be, and that's good enough for me. That's all.
yeah.
Yeah.
My only thing, I've heard a lot of people say that they wanted to be like 14. And my only thing with that is they, they'd be gone. Like Jack would still be there, but like the other kids would probably be like gone at college or living their own life, and like they could come in and stuff. But like I don't know, it wouldn't be the same. And plus, the parents would be a lot older. Like
Yeah,
I don't
good
know.
point. They'll probably be in their 60s or 70s at that point.
Yeah, they'd be looking like Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy coming in there, like just be like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, dude, like I don't know,
Yeah.
but like I was okay with like maybe like a 5 year jump or something, but not like for like actual time. Like
Yeah.
that would have been a lot, but
Mm. Well, like I definitely wasn't. I definitely was not disappointed by the movie we got. Like,
oh no,
could have been
good
better
movie.
in certain ways, probably, but
Yeah,
it was as good as it. Honestly, it was as good as it probably could have been, given the fact that it was just. It takes place essentially right after the first one.
right.
There's not really a whole lot they could have done better than what we got, so I'm satisfied.
Yeah, and you gotta remember it could have been a lot worse too.
Oh
So
yeah,
like I'm definitely not mad at all. Like
yeah, it could have been a
this was
Cars
good.
2 situation. Granted, the
Oh,
first Cars wasn't great either, but the second Cars was just
but like
garbage.
whew, yeah. Do
Like at
you
least
think
they
we'll
still focused on the Incredibles
yeah,
as a whole, as a character, not just Jack the whole movie. Like it
makes
could have
them
been
no.
worse.
Oh gosh, makes the whole movie about just Jack. Oh, that'd be.
That would have gotten annoying. Like I liked him
Oh yeah,
overall. I liked him. It just felt like we got just a little too much of him overall.
yeah,
If the
yeah,
entire movie was about him, I would have been mad because that would have just been way too much.
yeah. Like we got a lot of Jack, a good bit of Violet. There was like not a lot of Dash at all,
Yeah.
which isn't bad, but it was kind of like I didn't really get anything from it at all. I didn't really like nothing really. Like we
Yeah, I
had the
don't
math
really remember him
scene.
doing much.
I remember
Yeah.
the math homework, and he put like with the remotes and like the water opening up in the house,
Hmm.
and that's pretty much it from the actual movie.
Yeah.
I remember.
Like I don't really remember him using his powers all that much against the
Not
other
really.
supers. Maybe he used his powers to like get one or two of the goggles off at the end,
Yeah,
but
probably.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, but I do like how Violet's powers got better. Like
yeah.
she's way better at force fields now, and like how she can throw
I
force
wish she had
fields.
done that
That's
more, but yes, throwing that
yeah,
was
that was
was good.
so. I was like, oh, that. I was like, oh yes, like that is satisfying to look at.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay. So, what would you rate this movie from a scale of 1 to 10 using point system?
1 to 10. It's. I give it like a soft 8. Like right in there. Like
Okay.
maybe that might be a bit much. I don't know. Like 7.5, 8 probably. Yeah,
Hmm.
not bad. Just kind of just like good where it was.
Yeah. Like when I went into this movie, legitimately, I was expecting to get an 8, and
Yeah,
that's what we got. So really, it should be a 10. But like, like it was as good as I
yeah,
was expecting it to be. So I'll split the difference and say 8.5. Sure, why not?
yeah.
It was
It's
as
like yeah,
good as I
it's like
feel it should have been, and I'm
yeah.
satisfied.
Met expectations, didn't wow me, but did not
Yeah.
disappoint. Did a good job.
So
You
given that you say it's around an 8-ish, where would you put it? Where about would you rank it in your list of Pixar movies?
let's see. Well, I remember at my immediate reaction after saying I said it was like top 8.
Mm-hmm.
So looking at Pixar movies, like listing them out and kind of going back to my list, I think I'd put it right over there because it's like right above the first Cars and stuff like that. So I think
Yeah.
I'm comfortable doing that. So I
Okay.
think like right around like 8 or 7. Because I think Coco was like, I think for me that was like 6-ish or
Mm-hmm.
5. So like not that high,
Yeah.
but or not low or however you see it.
Uh,
But right about like yeah, I think about 8's good.
yeah. I put it number 6, right in between Wall-E at number 7 and Toy Story 2 at number 5. It's not the best
Okay,
Pixar sequel. That's Toy Story 2. I feel it just Toy Story
sure.
2 just perfects everything that Toy Story did and just did it exponentially better.
So good,
Whereas
so
Incredibles
good.
2 took what the first one did, just did more of that, which, again, I can't complain. But
Right,
it's a very solid number 6.
yeah.
Yeah.
It did the sequel's job. It didn't do better than the original, but it did not disappoint.
Oh, yeah.
So there you go. Like you stayed in your
Like,
lane, you did a good job.
like, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the big
Oh, sorry.
question.
Go on. Yes.
Okay. You think we'll be seeing an Incredibles 3 anytime soon?
I really hope so.
Okay.
Even if it takes place immediately after, like, the supers are back. There are more opportunities for the Incredibles to actually do things. There are more supers who can come up, more villains to come out of the woodwork. There's even more potential now for a sequel than there was 14 years ago. Like,
Mm,
they just set the stage for a sequel so hard. It would be kind of disappointing if in the next 5-10 years we don't get one. I wouldn't be surprised if they like announce one in the next couple of years to come out a couple of years later, because this one, I'm gonna go ahead and get into what Disney's up to now. Incredibles 2 has already done over $800 million worldwide.
yeah.
Yeah,
With how much hype was going into it, I see that. Yeah.
yeah. Like people who have waited 14 years to watch this movie, it clearly delivered. Like, and it's weird because I haven't seen that many people disappointed in this movie. I was legitimately expecting a Last Jedi situation where like half the people would hate
Mhm.
it for some arbitrary reason, and the other half would love it because it's more of what they love. I've seen a couple of people voice, well, kind of negative opinions, but they're not overly negative. They're more so just they're kind of disappointed in what they got. They didn't hate it. Most of the people love it. I think the Rotten Tomatoes review score is like a 90+%, and
Mhm.
on both review critic and user score, which hardly ever happens. Like they're never.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it might be 80 or something, but like it's really
Yeah.
high for a movie like this. For a movie people have waited 14 years to see, for this many people to be satisfied with it is really impressive.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's spread of it. Yeah, like it's doing well. And the thing, like you said, nobody's was has come out and been like, "Oh, I hate this movie." Everyone's just, I think everyone's kind of in the same boat. It's not better than the first one. I don't think I've heard talked to anyone who said that, but still, it's like it does what it needs to do.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you more of the same. It adds some of the areas. It updates because it's been 14 years,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just a good movie. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, and because it's doing so well and probably will continue to, I don't think it'll actually break a billion. I'm not expecting that since there are still some pretty heavy hitters to come out this summer.
Yeah.
It could, it's gonna, it maybe even might break the 900 million mark when it's all said and done. I don't think it's come out in, it's either Australia, Europe, or both, where it hasn't actually come out yet. So once it comes out worldwide, it'll probably get higher up there. Yeah. So like Disney cannot see these numbers and be like, we're satisfied with just two when they made three cars and they're making a fourth Toy Story. Like, we're probably gonna get a sequel.
Yeah, I could see it definitely happen. I mean, the way it's going, we might get a fourth Incredibles probably. But I mean, I still don't like that we're getting four Toy Story. I still don't like that.
Yeah, not the biggest fan. Like, I get it. No. Toy Story, has a lot of toy sales and other merchandise stuff. And Toy Story 1, 2, and 3 all I think Toy Story 3 might have made over $1 billion. So like, there's no reason for them not to.
Close to that.
But
it's like, I don't need to.
Like, it ended perfectly. Just let it die, please.
Right?
You have those Toy Story shorts that have been coming out since, and like, those are fine. You don't need an entire movie about it.
Yeah, but
I'm just glad this came out before Toy Story 4. Because originally those were switched.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, before they were switched.
Okay. Toy Story 4 is when?
Next year.
Sometime
next summer, I think.
Yeah, June next summer. Okay, gosh. I don't want, like, I love Toy Story, but I don't want it.
You peaked with Toy Story 2. Like, Toy Story 3 was pretty solid as well. Just kind of, just ride it out. Like, people are still buying the toys, I'm sure. There's Toy Story Land recently opened up to Disneyland. Like, it's still in the mind share of people. Like, you don't necessarily, I just don't know if you need a Toy Story 4. I'm just not sure if enough people, I'm just not sure if, after seeing Toy Story 3, people were excited for a fourth one. Especially when you ended it so conclusively.
Right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the way it ended, I mean, it almost didn't set you up for a fourth. It's like, I mean, you really ended like, okay, we're done. Like, that is the way
the story is over.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, he literally dropped the toys off at someone else's house. So it's like, that is the end. That's supposed to be it. But they're like, no, we're gonna do it, and I'm like, no, it's over. Like, you don't need to do anything else. But I mean, I don't know. I guess they're chasing the money, obviously. Good for them. But I mean, it's not like you need it again.
Well, they might need it if they do go through with a $70+ billion buyout of Fox.
But it's Disney. Like, if anyone can afford $70 billion, like, but like, they have I mean, think of how much money they made just this year.
I mean, people are saying, oh, they can't afford it. Solo bombed. That movie broke even. That movie is made like 300, 400 million. Like, it's not great for a Star Wars movie, but still it broke even. Like, it's fine.
It feels like that's the only movie they've made this year. Have we forgotten? Like,
Black Panther and Infinity War both breaking well over $1 billion. Infinity War going over $2 billion.
Top 5 highest grossing movies just this year.
But A Wrinkle in Time didn't do that good. And Incredibles 2 making over $800 million worldwide. Like, shut up.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, those two movies made enough for the next, like, 5 years alone, let alone, like, oh my gosh. I mean, they're fine. Like, Disney's fine, you know?
They might take on a little bit of debt after the buyout, but like, they'll make it up in a few years. Like, Disney parks, after they finish the Star Wars land, that'll get a bunch of business. Pixar, Star Wars, Marvel stuff is still going strong. Avengers 4 is coming out next year. Spider-Man 2 is coming out next year.
Star Wars finishing the trilogy next year. I mean,
Frozen 2. Wreck-It Ralph 2. Like,
That's
they're
what
making
I'm
movies. They're making
they're
stuff.
fine. Like, oh man, there's so much stuff. So much stuff. Gosh.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it's just, I mean, Disney's not, I mean, no one's, I don't know. I just don't see, I've done a lot of movies this year. Okay, so, oh, good.
Speaking of all the money that Disney has been making, Ant-Man the Wasp made over 76 million opening weekend, which is better than the first one, though it's technically under expectations. Though it's made over, or that's only domestic, by the way. Though it's made over 200 million worldwide so far, and when it hasn't even come out everywhere.
Yeah, I mean,
which this is actually probably the most impressive news I've heard all year. Since Ant-Man and the Wasp was #1 in the box office opening weekend, this makes Marvel's 20th movie to make #1 at the box office.
they only have like...
They have 20.
That's what I was
All
thinking.
20 of them.
That's what I was like, wait a minute. We did a list where they had like, what, 18?
It was 2 movies ago.
That's what I was like, wait. Oh, so wait. So you're telling me every Marvel movie has been
Even
number
the
one?
Incredible Hulk, that must have been a dead week or something, made
been
#1 at the box office that weekend.
They're so successful. Even Thor's? Really?
Both Thors, yeah.
Really?
The first Thor I could understand, because, like, you know, Thor is a pretty big character, and, like, it looked kind of impressive, but the second one, I don't know how that even made money, period.
I'm like, wait, like, you could have at least missed, like, one there. Like, no. Like,
No.
man.
The first Ant-Man, Incredible Hulk, that, Iron Man 3, which Iron Man 3 actually made a bunch of money because it came right after the first Avengers, so that makes sense.
But still, like,
all
good
of them,
gracious.
literally all of them, broke the box office opening weekend.
I mean, they can't miss. Like, they're doing amazing.
The next one's Infinity. Oh, next one's Captain Marvel, which that's gonna be 800 million, like, minimum.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We got that, and then I mean, Avengers 4. I mean, we already know what that's gonna do. Like, I mean, oh my gosh.
Black Widow is finally getting a movie with a female director. Finally.
It's about time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a prequel movie, which I'm down for.
Yeah, I'm excited. I hope Hawkeye's involved too.
Yeah, that's what I think it's gonna be. That's why I got excited when I heard it was a prequel movie. Because I'm like, okay, cool, because like that's gonna probably go into their past.
Yeah.
So that's
it's
awesome.
gonna be about whatever that event was they mentioned in Civil War. I hope that.
Yeah,
I hope that's a big part of it.
He's like, you're they're different. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be. Oh my goodness, dude! How are so successful, dude? Like, this is ridiculous.
Like, people keep saying superhero fatigue is real. Maybe for
It's
you.
not.
Deadpool 2 did pretty darn good. Ant-Man and the Wasp is not doing amazing numbers, but like it doesn't have to. It's Ant-Man and the Wasp.
No. I mean, it's like their relief movie, like just so they don't have to. You know, it's like let's just do this so they'll leave us alone. Like,
yeah. That movie, the movie only costed about 150 million to make, so they've already well over broken even. So like.
Oh yeah, I mean they've made so much more than they put into it. Like obviously, like. Oh my goodness, dude! I mean, this Marvel is just balling, man. And I mean, that's just one of the properties Disney owns. That's what I'm saying. Disney, I mean, it's over.
Yeah. And once they buy Fox, they can introduce Fantastic Four and X-Men characters. And they now have the Simpsons to work off of in certain scenarios. Like, they're rolling.
I'm saying, like, just imagine when they get the X-Men up there. Like, that's gonna be. I mean, that's. Oh man,
it's gonna be a little upsetting because these characters are coming in after probably Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, etc. are already left because Reed Richards is like good friends with both Bruce Banner and Iron Man, and for them to probably not be in it for much longer, like it's just gonna be disappointing for them to just kind of miss each other.
That is true.
Whatever.
Yeah, but I mean,
I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, we'll slap Spider-Man there in a little bit. That's gonna be kind of cool, you know.
Spider-Man,
and like
Black Panther.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel, who is supposed to be like the new leader of the Avengers after Avengers 4, which I'm fine with.
I'm
she did that in the comics too, and Civil War 2. Yeah. Civil War 2 could easily happen a few years down the line. It's like, okay.
Right, are we doing?
I guess Captain Marvel and Iron Maiden. That could be a thing.
I can see this happening. Are we really doing this again? Like, oh man, I mean, you know what? Why not? You know, it's oh man, it's such promising future.
Yeah. So, in the last bit of Disney news, you're going to be very excited about this because it has been officially announced that for episode 9, Billy D. Williams will return as Lando.
Mm-hmm. I saw that. And the only reason I'm not like over the moon with that is because he's more than likely going to get wasted. At least in my opinion.
I mean, maybe, maybe he is like 80 years old.
That's what I'm saying. Like Billy Williams. Like I love me some Billy D. Williams. This dude is a baller. But at the same time, it's like, oh, dude, like they're gonna do something to it. Like he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna make it out of this one. I do like that he's gonna be in it though.
That's awesome. Like I kind of feel this is their response to not having Carrie Fisher anymore. Unfortunately, like this was supposed to be Leia's movie, and because like I personally would be okay with them recasting Leia. I know like that's more like kind of a controversial issue, but like if they do, it's fine. If they write around it and they do it well, that's fine. It's a stressful situation either way. Like some people are gonna be mad regardless. So like essentially their reaction to that was, let's bring back Lando. Everyone loves Lando. He was the only good part of Solo. So let's bring him back. So I felt like it was a good decision.
Yeah, I did too. And like you said, like it is one of those situations with Leia. It's like no matter what you do, somebody's gonna be triggered. So if you just like kind of soften the blow by adding someone else, it'll help out, And like you don't want. I mean, and this is supposed to be the ending to this trilogy, so you don't want it to be shrouded in. Oh, I hate people are gonna come. I hate all of this because you did this wrong, and like. No, no one wants that. No one needs that for Star Wars, especially. So, I think this is a good move. I think it's smart. Now, how he's going to be incorporated, that is going to be interesting. I do want to see how that comes into play. But
he's really old. I don't know how active he's going to be in this movie.
I don't know, because I'm trying to think. Let me see, Billy.
I think he's actually 80.
81 actually.
Wow. Okay.
By the time this next one comes out, he'll be 82. So yeah, he's gonna be up there. But he doesn't look too bad for 81. He don't look too bad. I'll be honest. So, but this is gonna be interesting. Oh man, Lando, love Lando.
I have no idea what's gonna happen in episode 9, but
who knows?
With Lando being a part of it, at least it's gonna be cool. So
something's gonna be cool about it, there's gonna be at least one scene where you're just like, I love that guy. That's all I want.
We can't get any banter between Han Solo and Lando anymore since Han Solo's dead.
Yeah, spoilers from 3 years ago.
Yeah.
For that
biggest
one
movies
person,
of all time, you've probably seen it.
From that one person on Earth who hasn't seen The Force Awakens.
Movie that made over $2 billion at the box office. A movie that's made however many DVD sales alone.
I think they'll be all right.
Yeah.
If that somehow was news to you, I first of all get help. I can't help you. So.
Yeah.
Oh my! But yeah, I think it's gonna be good. Chewbacca's still around, so maybe they'll have some banter. So, not that we'll hear Chewie's part of the banter, but it'll be something.
Have you seen Solo yet?
I have not.
I don't care. Yeah.
I don't. I really don't. I'm like, that's probably not even gonna be that good. And I haven't heard. It's one of those movies where as soon as it came out, you never heard about it.
Yeah.
Which is the universal movie sign for it wasn't that great.
Yeah. I'm still seeing commercials for Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'm not. I after the second week it was out, no commercials for Solo. Disney just dropped that hard because it didn't perform nearly as well as they thought it would because it's just a perfect storm for that movie to just kind of come and go. So close to Infinity War, half the fan base hates Star Wars now for some arbitrary reason. Half the fan base that still likes Star Wars and want to see another one after 6 months after that, and they just came off Infinity War. Like I don't know why it came out now, and December's wide open.
Yeah,
doing so much better. I don't understand.
I don't know. It's just so much going on, and like it feels like it's almost gonna be like a civil war between Star Wars fans at this point. Just like, no, this is terrible. No, this is great. And then, and then at the last minute, they're gonna announce the Obi-Wan movie, and everyone's gonna be like, yeah.
Well, they said they weren't going to do any more spin-offs, but, like, yeah, one more anyway, I guess.
I mean, no one's going to be mad. Like, literally no one. Like, maybe Darth Maul in his grave somewhere, but I mean, other than that, like, no one's going to care. Everyone's like, yes, fine. Because, I mean, honestly, why don't they? What are you waiting for?
I don't know. They apparently were prioritizing a Boba Fett movie over that, but...
No, nobody wants to. Okay, maybe
not that nobody wants to, but like we don't.
Not nobody, but like I don't
not
know.
Over an Obi-Wan movie.
That's what I'm saying. Nothing. I don't care what. No movie. I want more than an Obi-Wan movie right now, as far as anthology. Like no. Like we need to see this because Obi-Wan is arguably the best character in Star Wars, depending on who you ask.
Arguably, yeah. I mean. I kind of didn't like him at all in episode 2, but then again, nothing was good about episode 2, so that's not saying much. Well, he's probably my favorite part of episode 3, so yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That was a bright part of that movie.
Yeah, so it's like and it's also not Marvel. I'm gonna say Marvel, but Disney in general is fairly good about giving the fans what they want.
Yeah,
so I think this would make sense because that's what you're trying to do, right? I mean, you make the fans happy. The fans give you money. That makes you happy. Everyone's happy. I mean, he wants to do it. We want to see it. Why not?
Why not? Maybe someday. Maybe 3-5 years from now, though. After the trilogy's over, they'll start, going back to more.
That's what I'm thinking. Like
enough stuff. Maybe.
Yeah. Finish the trilogy, maybe give it a couple years off just to kind of let the Star Wars hate die down, and then hit them with the Obi-Wan movie, and everything will be perfect.
Yeah. So, in other nerd news, I mentioned last week that AT&T has officially merged with the Time Warner Company, and I didn't really think much of this. Like I knew, of course, WB and DC, they're under Time Warner, which is now part of AT&T. I didn't really think that would really affect much of anything in the nerd world. I thought, just be more capital to do whatever they want to do. Apparently, a part of this deal was now, like, I'm not sure if this is completely official yet, but as far as I can tell, Warner Brothers no longer technically owns DC Comics. AT&T does.
Really?
Yeah. Part of the deal was to have AT&T be in charge of DC Comics. That includes movies, comics,
everything.
TV shows, I assume, like, just all of it.
All of it?
As far as I can tell, yeah, from the reports I heard.
Whoa. I mean, that's a lot to just sweep under the rug. I mean, DC is huge.
Yeah.
And that's, so the question is, what's AT&T going to do?
Do they even have a movie studio? Like, they probably... Since they apparently have enough money just to buy Time Warner, I guess they have some movie studio under their belt.
I mean, maybe, but I don't know.
Or do the heads of Time Warner just now have creative control over what DC does? Like, do they just... Like, maybe Warner Brothers can still make the movies, but AT&T has, like, tells them what to do and what to make? Because, there's a meme going around... Oh, sorry. What?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Because there's a meme going around that, like, that Warner Brothers is the biggest villain of the DC universe, which, like, The Snyder Cut wasn't going to be good, but like I kind of understand where they're coming from. The people
Yeah.
who wanted that, they see them as the villain, and also apparently Aquaman is going to be slightly under 2 hours, which honestly I can't see that as a blessing at this point.
it's kind of just like, okay, like I cared not before, I care not now, but whatever.
Yeah,
But I mean, as long as Wonder Woman 2 does good, or 1984, whatever, I don't,
yeah,
you know what I mean. But like, I mean, that's fine. But I mean, it's like, are they? My thing is like, are they gonna make any drastic changes because of this? I don't
yeah.
feel like they would. But if they did, I wouldn't necessarily be against it, at least movie wise,
Yeah.
because But
I wouldn't see them making any major changes that WB wasn't planning on making anyway, like the soft reboot after Wonder Woman 1984, like possibly recasting Batman, like whatever future movies they're making. I'm not predicting they'll cancel anything. They might, maybe someone at AT&T is a huge DC fan. They're like, I can do this better than you guys. Just give all creative control to me. And they're like, if we have to, okay. So that actually kind of, sets the stage to actually have good movies. Like, if essentially my mindset going into this is it could not get worse. What we have so far after Justice League, after BVS, after Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman being the only good DC movie so far, it could not get worse after AT&T taking over.
Can only go up,
Yeah.
basically.
So I don't necessarily see this as a bad thing inherently.
Nah. I mean, honestly, like, no. Like, because, I mean, the way it's going, they're just putting all these, maybe they'll add some order, because, I mean, they're just throwing all
Hopefully.
these movies at the wall, and it's just like, none of this is going to make, this doesn't make any sense. You can't just do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but, I mean, they're going to do it anyway.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. We'll see. It'll probably take a few years for this to actually take any effect on DC Comics as a whole, but we'll see what comes of it. Maybe nothing will happen. Maybe they'll just keep doing their own thing. AT&T will just, I don't know, be there. But
yeah,
it's just a really weird thing that like might be huge, but might be nothing, or could be good, could be horrible. Like there's just a lot of things that could happen, and we have no idea what's going to happen here.
Yeah, it's too soon to tell, but
we don't know. I'll keep my eye on it, but like as of right now, I'm cautiously meh about it. I just kind of don't care.
Cautiously meh, I like that. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Like, I don't see any big time change. Like you said, not anything like they're gonna like what was it unplanned, just huge changes anyway. Mm-hmm. But that's not necessarily a good thing because some changes probably definitely need to be made.
Yeah, we're still getting that Birds of Prey movie, the Nightwing movie where he's introduced. Deathstroke movie I'm fine with because I love Deathstroke. There's 3 Joker movies, there's like 2 or 3 Harley Quinn movies. Like it, apparently we're still getting all those. I don't know why, but we are.
I don't know. I mean, maybe they're just banking on, hey, everyone reads comic books, right? And it's like, we do, but I mean, one, they're not comic book accurate, and 2, no, not everyone reads comic books. No,
Joker is the most comic book accurate one so far because he did this one time.
That's
in the comics.
It doesn't do anything. It doesn't. That's so. Oh, me and my brother. Oh my gosh! All right. So, speaking of, I know this is kind of a side note, but I showed my brother the Assault on Arkham movie.
Oh, that's so good.
On Friday night, and he was like, "Why wasn't this the Will Smith one?" And I was like,
"No."
I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's so good.
No, it's so good, dude.
Even the Suicide Squad Hell to Pay movie was still pretty darn good.
Way better. Way better. I mean, it actually made sense. I mean, there was magic, but it made way more sense
There's
than
magic
that.
in the DC universe. Like it's not anything new. Like at least it was explained better than Enchantress.
Oh my god, Enchantress is like, why is Enchantress bad? Because the movie says so.
Why did Amanda
That's
Waller
all.
even need her? Why not just have her, if anything? Why is June Moon the worst archaeologist of all time? Why why does none of this make any sense? Why did Amanda Waller plan the entire time just to get her out of the city when she apparently had some master plan all along, yet it didn't actually amount to anything? Why anything with that movie?
Oh my gosh. The only thing I like about that movie is that Viola Davis was Amanda Waller because that is an excellent casting.
The only
However,
they didn't
it
give her
was
anything to
it
work
was
with.
it was that's what it was wasted, but it was an excellent choice.
Yeah.
But it was
Uh,
wasted, and I'm disappointed. But you know
yeah,
what?
and also that movie didn't even amount to anything because in the after credits it was acting. Um, Ben Affleck was there talking to her I need you to help me find these other supers, and she's like, oh, I know who you are, and I know who these people are. I'm not gonna help you, and he's like, okay, I'll do it myself. So he clearly has. He could have found a way to get those documents
Yeah,
somehow. He clearly has access to
yeah,
this. Yet in Justice League, I know it wasn't the Snyder cut as we were promised, but I have a feeling it wouldn't have been explained anyway. He doesn't know where anyone is. He didn't know that Aquaman was Aquaman when he was talking to him. Yet Aquaman's face was there in that document in the after credit scene. What is wrong with you?
I mean, it was very un-Batman of him to not.
And he almost looked intimidated of Waller at the end of Suicide Squad. I'm like that's kind of Batman's thing. Yes, they're adversaries, but and
Batman.
she has dirt on him, but he's never scared of her. If anything, he sees her more as a challenge than anything.
And I mean, he has dirt on her too. It's not oh God, what is he know they know about each other. They know both of them are not
Yeah.
and it was just not. I don't know,
Ugh.
but it's.
Hopefully, the sequel will be better. Maybe the same guy who made The Accountant, which is the good movie. So hopefully that'll be better. Yeah,
I did hear that was good. I need to check
it's
that
pretty good.
out.
Yeah. So yeah, is there anything else we talked about tonight, or anything else in general you want to mention?
Not really. Just I mean, maybe I was surprised about that Time Warner thing. I did not know that, but I mean, yeah. I mean, we'll see. Just like I don't want to say fix it because I mean, yes, it's broken, but one new thing is not going to fix. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe Wonder Woman 2 will put it into place. Shazam does look good from what we've seen,
It looks
but
like a. It looks like they're going in the right direction with the more
right.
goofy. Which I don't want DC to just be Marvel. I don't want that, but it's at least a nice template to go off of. Marvel is really successful, so maybe imitating them at least a little bit might get you somewhere. And
Yeah,
Shazam
but
kind of seems to be doing that.
yeah, I mean, it is better that I think they're imitating the movie styles versus imitating the bringing them to how they brought them together because they just kind of threw characters at the screen
Yep,
and we saw how that worked out.
they did not.
So I think, I mean, we saw it crash and burn, but I mean, it was on. I mean, and the thing, I mean, I don't know. It's just better writing. I mean, better writing. It's like DC, the casting is either hit or miss.
Mm.
Because some of the casting, great. Some
I
of
love
the
Gal Gadot.
casting, yeah, no, I mean, great job. She's a great pick, But then you have, the Jesse Eisenberg casting,
Ugh.
which is
Pretty
this
much
guy.
every single villain in these movies I hate.
Yeah. Like I was saying, the villains are not good. I mean, Amanda Waller was a good casting. I think,
Yeah,
I don't know, but pretty much, I mean, I do think Margaret Robbie was a good casting for Harley Quinn,
she was
but
fine.
yeah, I mean, she's not it doesn't make me mad that she's
Yeah,
picked for that. But other ones just really I mean, the Jared Leto thing, it's just
yeah.
really.
Him? Why is he getting his own movie now? We don't need that. We don't want. No one wants that.
No one wants no.
Anyone who thinks he's a good Joker is just in denial and stupid. I'm
But
just
there's a
saying that.
lot of, but the thing is, there's a lot of those people.
I
They're
know.
everywhere,
I
and
know.
like there's like it's all on like online. Like every time I go online, and so they're like, "Yo, yeah, this is what we want." I'm like, "Who are you people? Why do you want this?" I'm like, "Guys, like
I don't.
no, we don't." Like it's like every you're looking around, like why?
And like it would be one thing if Joker was actually part of the story in Suicide Squad, but it was like the movie was happening, which wasn't a movie. It was just a collection of scenes. It was just a collection of crappy scenes, and then Joker was just kind of there on the side. Their
Yeah.
paths intersected once, and it didn't really amount to anything because then Joker died. Like that, literally nothing came from Joker being in that movie. I know they shot more scenes and they left out, but like, no, Joker didn't need to be in that movie. If he gave me a reason to like him, I could, but he didn't do anything, so like I can't.
And I mean, and the Joker style. I mean, that Joker just didn't fit the style. Because even even like other people I know who aren't even big, like DC or just comic book fans in general, they're like, that
Yeah.
doesn't really seem like the Joker. Because like, they're like, I don't they're like when I think of Joker, I think more. Because like one thing I do is like the Joker is usually funny. Like,
Yeah.
because that's the thing. Like, you're like scared, but you're also like, okay, that was kind of clever what you did
Uh,
there. Like, and like I know some people are like, oh, well, the Heath Ledger Joker wasn't that fun. I'm like, okay, but that's different.
he was still, he still kind of had a like a, not I don't know what the best word is, but he still kind of had one-liners every now and again. He still
Yeah.
like had some quote unquote funny lines. Every
Yeah,
now
it
and
was
again.
more menacing, fun. Like the pencil thing. I always
Yeah.
point out. I mean, that's kind of fun. I mean, it's terrifying because he
Yeah.
just killed a man. But at the same time, that was kind of clever. Like,
Mhm.
okay, it is technically gone. Like,
Yeah.
point for you. But I mean, still,
Like the Joker from Assault on Arkham, perfect.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Like if you can't get Mark Hamill to do it, then Troy Baker is the next best choice.
Yeah,
He,
I mean that
he
was
nailed that.
really good. And I mean, yeah, he really did a good job. I mean, because it sounds like him a lot of it. Because I honestly, at some points, I was like, oh man, I love this. And I'm like, wait, that's not even Mark Hamill. And you forget, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
that's right, dude, way to go.
Mhm.
And like, it's just. And you see all these Jokers, and like even like in the Batman Under the Red Hood movie with John DiMaggio does the Joker, he does a really good delivery, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's really nice. And then you see, like, I realize this is live action versus animated, but you see how like Jared Leto just kind of like,
It's not
doesn't-
just about Jared Leto's acting; it's the writing. They
Yeah.
just don't take time and effort into the writing itself. I would like the reason the anime movies are or animated movies and cartoons are so good is because the actor they picked are great at the role and because the writing is so spot on for these characters.
right,
They just don't take the time or effort or anything into making these characters good. They're just banking on the name of the actor to sell the
Right.
character instead of making the writing sell the character.
right.
It's a two-way street here.
Yeah, and that's something that really that is the problem they really have because like I think what that is kind of like how like in like the MCU you kind of have characters who have just kind of become the actors that have played them because kind of like how
Jr., Chris
yeah
Evans.
exactly
Even
and the
Ryan
reason
Reynolds like is Deadpool.
yeah. I mean, that's ridiculous. I love that. But like, yeah, and like that happened, but like it doesn't just work like that right off the bat all the time. And that's what DC, I think they're trying to do. They're just like, okay, we're just gonna cast you as this, and you're just gonna be that person forever. And like, it usually doesn't work that well. You have to have good writing to at least let them grow into that character. They don't just pop on the costume on set and boom, it's perfect forever.
Yeah.
You've got to have the writing to go with it, at least starting off, and then maybe they can feel their way through the rest of it. But just getting there, it's a lot of that goes into the writing and like building the character and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and hopefully, if AT&T does have any kind of sway in the future of DC movies, hopefully they can be a voice of reason in all this and actually kind of get good people to do these jobs because I'm not confident good writers have been on any of these movies so far, outside of Patty
Yeah.
Jenkins, of course.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess we'll just have to see. I'm not. I don't know. I'm just not
Yeah.
expecting much yet. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's too soon to tell. But
Yeah. Oh, well. Oh, yeah. With that, we will see you all next time.
take care.